Hey, I wanted to do a walkthrough video of the changes that we've made to your site. None of this is live yet. This is all still on staging. And I'll make it live once you give approval and we make sure that no content that you've updated on the current site is overwritten. But to go over some of the things that we've done, I completely rebuilt the header because one, I wanted it to be a little more flexible for you to make edits to. I've left the footer alone because it's already built in Elementor. And a lot of this stuff was already built in Elementor, but I kind of just cleaned things up a little bit and I made everything mobile friendly. And so I kind of want to go through things. We'll start with the homepage here. Once it loads. And I apologize if you hear any of my animals in the background. It's still early here, but I know the roosters will be crowing. I'm sure you know how it is. All right, so for the header, you have its own template now, so you can adjust anything you want to put up here. I did change how the search looks a little bit to stand out a little more than the current one. I wasn't sure if you wanted this to be a slideshow in the background, the banner here. So right now, it's just a normal, but if you did want to switch it to a slideshow, I think it would be pretty easy to do. I'm gonna just test it out real quick with a couple different photos. Actually, I like these orchard ones. So you technically could. Might make the transition a little longer. See how that transitions real quick. That might actually be fun. If you wanted to do that, all you need to do is hit the slideshow option instead of the classic background under style for that section. I'll leave it classic for now. I think the slideshow will save even though it's not selected. So if you wanted to just adjust the photos and have that be part of it, you're welcome to do that. Um, so everything else is pretty much cleaned up. There's a couple things that we changed up. Like there were a lot of extra sections and rows that were empty. So I went ahead and deleted a lot of those. Um, a lot of these sections were full width, which you saw in one of the previous videos that I'm probably going to send all of these over at once. So I made everything the same width so it aligns with the left of the logo and footer. See how everything is kind of all in the same line here and the same on the right. Um, for the most part, like this, the text isn't long enough to really reach the full right here, but you could see all of this kind of lines up together. Before, a lot of them were full screen, which may be like that currently on the news or the current site. But the reason I did it this way is one for uniformity. I see how these are like right up against the left, which doesn't align with the logo. It may seem like a small thing, but the reason I did it this way is one, it just looks better. But two, we can change the width now for everything all at once. So having them all follow, basically, if you go into this, the whole wrapper here, right now it's boxed instead of full width. So all we would do if we needed to change this to make everything wider or smaller is change what the box width is. And it changes it for all of these all at once. So you're not saying, making this one full width, this one not full width or whatever. Everything just follows the box width, and then we can change that box width at any time. And it changes it universally throughout the site. So that's the reason I did it that way. So we can certainly still do that. This is the only one I left the outer box full width so that the green bar goes all the way across, but the inner box is following the box content width. So everything ends again on the left side here for this inner box, if that makes sense. And I wasn't sure if you wanted this picture. I know on the current site it's larger. We can certainly make it larger. And we can make it be completely on the top and bottom. I'm not sure how you were really intended some of these photos and stuff to be, but Right now I'm just kind of getting everything cleaned up and everything. So I noticed a couple sections like this one, like this was in its own container, this was in its own container, this button, they were all in separate rows rather than all in the same container. So I just kind of combined a lot of those as well. And then of course now you can hover over the header, click on it, and you'll be able to add or adjust things in the header once it loads. It's like its own template now, like the footer basically. So this pulls the site logo. It automatically links to the home page. This is your menu. I've adjusted the color. Honestly, I cleaned up the colors a little bit, but this is how it was already built into the theme. So I don't think you're utilizing, yeah, it's not using those same colors on the site. So I didn't adjust the colors, but I can match them if you want. I didn't know if this was, I don't know if this was indifferent or not to you, but when I changed out the header, this is the style that came up, and I mean, it was a nice clean style, so I just left it. And then your header and your phone number. And I do have the phone number linked up so that when people click on it, it automatically opens up the phone app on their phone. I think layout wise, that's pretty much everything. Edit elements should take you into the footer. Let me know if you're having issues editing the footer again, because I think I can just duplicate like I do the header, how this is built out. Fairly easy, but I didn't touch it because it was working for me, but let me know if you're still having issues. So getting out of this, we'll go through some of these pages. There's one page in particular that I mentioned in the other video. We still need to adjust how it's laid out. But let's see. If we go to About Us, I think a lot of this is exactly the same. Now, the one difference is the header. In your subpages, you have, why is your live site giving me issues? I wonder if your SSL certificate is not working on the live site. Let's try a different page. I wasn't doing this yesterday. I haven't touched the live site, so I don't really know what's going on there. But let me try incognito real quick. Hold on. Locked due to riskware. Okay, I think I know what this is. So on your live site, and actually I need to email you this about this morning. You're going to get this in an email as well. Your catalog requests page. I noticed the links you can see down here on the bottom right. When I hover over the catalogs, I'll put the annotation. It links to a temporary.site/media. I don't know what that is. I haven't clicked on these links and I kind of refuse to because it just looks like a sus link. And now that my malware detection software is also picking it up, looks like it's picking it up on the live site too. I don't know if that's intentional, if that's actually where you have your PDFs stored, or if your site on your live server has been compromised. So since we copied this from the live server, I'm wondering, I'm assuming it's been like that for a while. I wouldn't link to some other website for these PDFs because especially one that looks like that, the zfr.lgk.temporary.site, because it doesn't look safe. I would just link to Boyer's for your PDF. So I'm not going to touch these until I talk to you, but that may be why your live site is having issues. So we'll go over that later, but let me think what else we would need to cover. So Orchard Supplies is the questionable page I talked about before about how to display these elements, whether you plan, see, I still have my temporary where we could list these items here, so that they'll reduce into mobile easily. But we can go over that from the previous video I sent over. On the contact us page, I did add a contact form. I don't think you have one on the live site, but I can't get to I can't get to it now to tell. But I did install a contact form program that I use that I love. And I have an unlimited use license. So I just went ahead and put the license in so you can use that for free. No problem. But it emails you guys directly at this email. And you can have it also automatically send a response to people that fill it out saying, thank you for submitting. Don't forget to follow us on social or use it as like a small marketing tool. But what I was going to talk about is in the header on your existing site, you have a background for the subpages. We don't currently use that background. And it looks like on your current site, it's just the tops of the trees. So what I'm thinking, you can kind of see it on the homepage what it would look like. These top of the trees here is maybe on, let me try something real quick while I'm on the here anyway. I'm thinking we could still do it, just not have it be the full banner. But I'm trying to think of how we would do it. So if I go into the header and we added kind of thing, because I don't want it to show on the homepage that way either. I'm just trying to think through it because if I do it, it's going to load on the homepage the same way, which wouldn't look right because it'd be like two pictures on top of each other. I'm not even sure. I think it's this image. Oh, so you have this as like just a, see, I didn't have it as a faded image. We could do that, but hold on. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to duplicate the header. This one, I can probably set it up so that it only displays not on the home page. Page title is not home page. Save. That one displays. This one, we take the background off and then set a conditional display that says page title is homepage. Yeah. So you're basically behind the scenes going to have two headers, which you'll see when you log in. It'll look like this. But this one only shows on the home page because it's got that banner that goes up underneath of it, basically. And then this one shows up on every other page at the top. I'm going to publish it and see how that looks. And then any edits you do to the header, you just have to do both of those sections, which they're both right there to do that with. So, all right, so let's go to first the home page. Oh, and I should have it. So here's the home page. So this is, I'm sitting here pointing at my monitor like you can see me. This is a whole banner that's tucked underneath of a transparent header. So any picture that you put, if you wanted to do the slideshow, it automatically is going to rotate underneath this as well. But it's always going to have this white shimmer, or like a opaque layer on top. But if you go to a subpage, like About Us, now it's going to display the other header, which I'm going to change so that this goes all the way across. It'll look like this, and we can actually do an adjustment so it's not so bright. So let's edit header, because obviously you're going to have like text over dark leaves that might be hard to see or something. And I think this will make it a lot easier for you to change out images when you want. If we can control a lot of it through code rather than you having to create multiple versions of an image, if that makes sense. You don't have to do a slightly transparent image. We want display to be, no, not contain cover. And then let's say we want the background. I'll do an overlay. So under advanced, or no, it's under style, and then back on overlay. We want it to be white with a little opacity. How the more I move opacity away, something like that. Now, I don't know if you want the menu included in that. Let's publish this, see what it looks like, and then decide if the menu should be in the same, with the same background. So let's take a look real quick. So ignore this part. This is just showing actually, let's do it on a live page. So I don't know, what do you think? Right now we have the background just on the header, but we could include the menu in this as well. And then it goes into your content for each section. I'm indifferent about it. I think it could work. But I don't know. Let me know what you think. So I think everything else is pretty straightforward. The main thing I had questions about were the catalogs and then the orchard supply section. But everything else, again, it's built into Elementor. It's all mobile friendly. Should be easy enough for you to edit now. You just have to get used to Elementor. Let's refresh this because this is updated. And I thought about adding a little bit of spacing. I think I will, because there's just very little space between the menu and then the start of the section. So I think I'm going to add a little bit of space here. And the way I'm going to do that, I think it's just going to be on this section. I'm going to go under advanced and add a bottom margin of 50. Nope, not top and bottom, just bottom. There we go. That has like a 50 margin in there. And if we refresh, there we go. Just a little bit of margin there. So let me know if you want the top nav kind of in the same with the background in the header or something. I think what else? Oh, what is that? I don't like this extra space in here. I must have done something in the big header. So what did I do here? Oh, I see. I think. No, I don't see. Oh no, I do see. Okay. So for this header then, Maybe it's just the banner here. Let's edit this page. Because I added that padding or that margin just now, I added a little bit of space where the banner, how far the banner needs to go up to be under the full header. So if I just edit this section and we want it to go all the way up to there and then publish. Okay. Now again, all of this is mobile friendly. I did check under tablet. It reduces it down like this. Everything, all the content reduces. And then I also checked on mobile. I set up your mobile menu. Oh, it's trying to get me to edit the header. I mean, that's fine. But the mobile menu opens. All your text is aligned great for mobile, so perfect. I might change, I haven't checked this yet. Let me check this. Because when people are on mobile, they don't want to have to copy email addresses. Okay, that works fine. So let's change the phone number to be linked. So it just opens people's phone app and then, I mean, they can just click on the map and that'll open their GPS. So, okay. I don't really think there's anything else as far as getting in here to make edits that needs to happen, but let me know if you have any issues. And again, you'll have the two headers now in the back end, but it's just so that one header can deal with the big banner on the homepage and the rest can still have some sort of background feel on the rest of the pages. But other than that, I think you're good there. And I'll get with you on the catalog and the other stuff. I'm really trying to think if there's anything else that you need to do. Everything's pretty standard. Let me look at your events because in one of the other videos, I showed you an events listing I did for Sign of the Buck. And I wasn't sure how often you have events. If you wanted an actual event listing or if you just want it to be, well, you'd have a calendar. I guess that works. Yeah. Okay, so never mind. You got a little calendar on here for that. Yeah, I don't think there's really anything else to do except just a little bit of cleanup. So let me know what you think. Everything's pretty straightforward now. But again, it's all in Elementor. It's all cleaned up. If you, actually, let me take a look in the back end real quick. If you needed to make a new page, let me take a look at your pages real quick. See, I'm in Jetpack safe mode. I'm going to try something without it. I am going to install a plugin that makes it easy for you to duplicate a page and it copies all the Elementor styles. You don't have that functionality currently. So let me do, I want to say it's called duplicate pages. Let's try that. On the pages. Yeah, no, that's not what I needed. What is the plugin that I use for this? I don't always remember the plugins, just saying them. I'm really trying not to make this video longer than it is, but I've noticed I ramble a lot in some of these, so I apologize. I'd like to just walk my customers through my thought process and stuff. So let me take a look here. What plugin am I using for this? Yoast duplicate post. Maybe you need Yoast installed too. We'll try that. I don't have Yoast currently. You do have Yoast. Duplicate post. Settings. Let's see if it has. There's actually I know what it is. You need um what's it called? There's an essential add-ons, I think. I'm actually going to install two plugins. One is the essential add-ons, and then one is, oh, you do have it. And then ultimate add-ons. So you had both, but it's still not showing. I'm gonna try the clone. I don't think the clone works. Let's take a look. So here's our clone. Edit with Elementor. It has the Elementor styles or not. It may work. I may be just misremembering, or it's been so long since I've tried it this way. No, it looks like everything's here. So I'm just gonna say use clone if you need to make a page and you don't have to replicate all the styles and the Elementor boxes and rows and stuff, then just do that. Just use clone. It looks like it works. So I will go back and remove the clone. Now I haven't gone through your drafts and file or pages that you have here that aren't published. That may be something just for cleanup, general cleanup I would go through and do. So let's get rid of this. Because you've got like press, another about that's private. Anything that's not listed as Elementor isn't currently live on the site because I went through every page that's currently live. So if you want these to be cleaned up, let me know if you plan to have these sections. Otherwise, I would just get rid of them. You can always bring them back from the trash can. Just because they're in trash doesn't mean that they're going to go away. Um, and then I saw you had WooCommerce set up, so I didn't know if you were planning to sell anything through the website. So let me know if you need me to do that. I think you still have plenty more hours that we can utilize for stuff like that. Lemon spreaders, PA apples, yeah. Anything that doesn't have Elementor next to it is we're not currently using. So that's a good indicator to let you see which pages you might need to look at to see if you want them. And these two, there's two of these, and I'm pretty sure I only edited one. So you may want to look at that. And then I would also add a page for your privacy policy. I don't think you currently have one. That's something I would recommend. It's more of a legal thing. It just lets people know what information you collect if you have any kind of form on the website, like a contact form or whatever, or to request a catalog, you have to disclaim what information you collect from clients doing that kind of stuff. So I can help you write one, a generic template I use. I'll send over a link to a blog post I wrote about it, but that's the only thing I would add to your current site just to make sure you're compliant. And then if you want to help with your SEO, I would also add a footer down here, one that lists your privacy policy and copyright and stuff. And here, I'll show you an example. Let's see. This guy I just launched. My internet is being slow today. I don't know what that's about. Whoa. refresh because that's not how the site looks. What the heck happened here? Something broke. I don't know what broke. Anyway, I want to fix that here in a second. So he has like his name, privacy policy, a sitemap. We also have website by Misfit. You don't need that because we didn't build your website. Um, but it lists all the current sites automatically, all the current live pages. So it's easier for Google to pick up the pages. I know that you have Yoast installed. I don't know whether you're using it for SEO or not, but it makes an automatic sitemap that you can then submit to Google for them to go through and spider your site and get all your content registered as well. So let me know. Maybe he just has outdated plugins or something. Sorry, I shouldn't be fixing another client's website while I'm talking to you, but this one seemed pretty important. So if his site's broken and he's business of the month for Gettysburg Wire, I wanted to get it up as soon as possible because that's going to make me look bad too. And this is another thing. This is why it's important to keep your plugins up to date because it can break your site if there's like a security issue or something like that. I think it's still doing plugin updates. There we go. So this is how a site's supposed to look. But he doesn't actually ever log into it. And I don't think he updates his plugin. So um actually if you ever get drone footage of your actually that'd be a good idea. If you guys can get drone footage of your orchard, we can have this be a video like that of the drone footage. I think that would be really cool just to see your orchard. And you would basically, if you get it, we would have to reduce it. You want it to be under 5 MB in size, and I have software that can do that. But in the background setting where the image is, so for example, if we go in here, I should know it would just be on the homepage, wouldn't it? If you get drone footage and you have me reduce the size of it so it can load fast for mobile and stuff, you would basically edit this section and go under style and change it to video. And then we would put a link to it, whether it's uploaded to the site with a fall, like for people that can't see video, you can have a fallback background, which we would then list as the original image. But then you can have like a nice little drone shot that loops when people are on your homepage. That would look kind of nice. You guys may already have that. I don't know. So there's the fallback image. And then I don't have a video to show there, but something to think about. Maybe some drone footage would be nice. So I do that on a couple sites. Let me think of someone else I did that for. The video. Urbana Fitness. She has video, and this is just stock video, but I do like the element of having live video. So here's her site that we recently did. Looks like she's made some updates. Why is this icon just in the middle of nowhere? Everything else is mostly the same. Again, you got that footer in here. We got the privacy policy, sitemap you want to have available, but you know, it gives a nice visual element to have some kind of live video on the site. I even have it on mine, although my site I'm going to be redoing soon. It's kind of outdated. I think I did 2 years ago. I like to refresh every 2 years for me. As a designer, it makes sense. And my video, honestly, is just stock video that it meant to look like the movie Hackers. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it just adds like some movement to a site. So, yeah, this is a very long video, more length to it than I intended. So hopefully this helps with the walkthrough. Everything is set up nicely. I wasn't sure if you wanted an image here. I didn't know why this extra column is here. I left that. All this stuff is cleaned up. Everything reduces nice for mobile. So you were good to go. It should be very easy to make edits, but let me know if you have issues. It's more of a just getting used to how Elementor works, I think, which I'm happy to do some training on that too. If you want to sit down and ask questions, we walk through edits. I'm happy to do that. But um, let's touch base on these other items that are left and we'll go from there.